Vikram Singh, who's the head of hydrogen development, was going to talk to you today about decarbonising the natural gas networks, and I'll go through some of the presentation that Vikram was going to present. I've actually worked very closely with Vikram over the last several years. We've been decarbonising our networks for about the last 5 years, and I'll show you some of the projects that we've already completed and also some of the projects that we've got coming forward. I'll explain a little bit about Australian Gas Infrastructure Group before we go into the slides. We're not selling gas per se. We're an infrastructure group. We're principally a networks business. We transport gas for the retailers to your door. We are very eager to decarbonise the networks. It's happening. Renewable product is happening right around the country, and we're a big part of that. Now, I'll start the slide.
On the main stage right now is our speaker.
I'll tell you a little bit about Australian Gas Infrastructure Group, and before I get into that slide, I'll say that Australian Gas Infrastructure Group is made up of the Dampier-Bunbury pipeline, Australian Gas Networks and Multinet Gas, and I'll explain a little bit about that later. We've got a stand here today called the Australian Gas Networks stand, and that's just one of our brands, and that's a third of the Victorian network. We also have another third of the network called Multinet Gas. So as you can see there, we're in just about every state, Northern Territory, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Western Australia and South Australia. Our biggest customer base by far is Victoria. We've got 1.4 million customers. This slide talks to our forward plan, and it's a very busy plan, as you can see. And Hype SA, that's Hydrogen Park, South Australia. We have an electrolyser running and injecting renewable gas into the network to 700 customers today, with plans to go to 4,000. And through the course of 21 right through to 2040, as you can see there, our aim is to be 100% renewable, with 100% renewable gas running through our networks at that time, and at the latest 2050. There's some interesting projects on that slide, and you can see that we're in there, Melbourne. Everyone's familiar with Melbourne. We're looking at a couple of bioenergy hubs, and we're looking at the injection of renewable gas into the network itself. This slide provides a little bit more detail on some of the projects you just saw on the other slide, the previous slide. The Hype SA on the left, lower, operational online May last year. So the ball's already rolling. That's a 1.25 megawatt unit. And feel free to ask any questions too while we're going through this presentation if there's something you're not clear about. We've got another project that's happening pretty soon in 2023, Hydrogen Park Gladstone, and we'll be supplying 800 homes and businesses in Gladstone. And you can see Brisbane, probably about 2025-6 to 100,000 customers. Wagga, Murray Valley, which is Wodonga, and so on. There's a little bit more detail here on our pathway. Gladstone, South Australia, Hype Murray Valley, Brisbane, Melbourne. I'll tell you a little bit about Hydrogen Park Murray Valley, and that's an electrolyser that will inject a 10% blend, up to 10% blend into the customers in Albury Wodonga. That's a unique opportunity because it's actually located, co-located with North East Water, a water facility, water treatment facility, and with that electrolyser, we'll be able to, it's like a marriage made in heaven, we'll be able to send what's normally a byproduct of production of hydrogen, send the oxygen across to the northeast water to actually accelerate their production of biogas. So, and we'll inject biogas into our network as well. So decarbonising the network involves a combination of hydrogen, principally, and some injection of biomethane, created from biogas and upgraded to send into our system. This is our number one project that's actually operational right now. I was only over there a couple of weeks ago with my colleagues here, Scott and Michael, having a look at the plant. We're pretty proud of it. Again, supplying 700 homes. We've gone through some extensive stakeholder engagement. The customers like it. I think most people want renewable product these days. And you can see a little red truck trailer parked there.
The speaker for the seminar room is from Homeland on how to create third space in your future home.
So the little truck there with the tube trailer effect, that actually transports gas to Whyalla. So we're starting to green the steel industry as well. This slide speaks to Hydrogen Park, Murray Valley, and as I said earlier, it's located on the Northeast Water Production Facility. Just to the left there, the top left of the picture, there's an artist's impression of our electrolyser.
In session right now, in the seminar room,
It'll be a world first blending project in terms of its outreach and design. Up to 10% hydrogen blending for 40,000 customers. Again, this is a
battery must have died.
from AGIG. So we actually have a partnership to build the facility in Albury-Wodonga. So we've partnered with a French company called AGIG, who have a lot of experience in renewables, and so they're a great partner to help us deliver that project. This shows that we're on track for full investment decision in October, so not just before the end of this month. The hydrogen transmission pipeline licence is approved, cultural heritage management plans approved, planning permits approved, and network safety case is endorsed by government. So we're pretty well on the way to do all the important things you need to do to get one of these things up and running. There's also an AusNet connection that needs to be finalised, and Victorian government policy support. All those are they're all ticks, so we're all there. The purchase power agreement is finalised. Debt agreements finalised. Hydrogen sales finalised. And arena agreements finalised. Now, this project was, there's been some assistance, and we've been given funds from the Australian Renewable Energy Agency to assist deliver a hydrogen product in Albury-Wodonga, which is really designed to get a hydrogen economy going in this country. As I said earlier, we've had some extensive stakeholder engagement in order to get acceptance for this project to be built in Albury-Wodonga. And I can personally say that I was involved in that heavily, and I'm delighted to say that there are no roadblocks from the community, including some extensive research and undertakings in terms of industrial customers. So, you know, industrial customers were asking, will a 10% blend of hydrogen into our network affect my product? Well, we had a lot of questions like that, and we worked through it extensively, and I'm glad to say that there are no roadblocks there. But as we move to 100% in our network, we will get a lot more questions, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot more work we'll need to do there, because we wouldn't put the green light on anything until all customers were safe and happy with our product. There's additional markets that will come out of this, not just renewable product within our gas networks. We can create green gas certificates, so that once Hydrogen Park Murray Valley is up and running, there'll be a quantum of certificates available for industrial customers to use. We're nearly there with residential, but not there yet. Forklifts are a prime target for hydrogen mobility, and we've had a lot of extensive discussions in Albury-Wodonga and surrounds to deliver tube trailer hydrogen to their door. Public refuelling, there'll be a couple of public refuelling stations in Albury-Wodonga for the likes of bus companies, truck companies and the like. Industrial supply, as I said earlier, we will deliver through tube trailer. Waste collection was one that I didn't mention earlier. That's a prime target for hydrogen. Hydrogen's typically suitable for long haulage, heavy product, heavy transport, and of course rail. And we're located, Albury-Wodonga are located alongside the proposed inland rail project, which will be running from Queensland down through Wagga, Albury-Wodonga, and then on to Melbourne. Hydrogen Park Wagga, we're pretty excited about that. It's another project similar to the one in Albury-Wodonga. And as you can see there, it's located in Bowman, within Wagga Wagga's Special Activation Precinct. Now, I'll explain what a Special Activation Precinct is. It's a precinct that's been developed with the assistance of the New South Wales Government. And in that precinct, prospective industrial operators will find utilities already available to them, so it assists the development of Wagga Wagga. Wagga Wagga is a strategic location for transport to Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne. It's quite an opportunistic kind of location, and you can see there's a lot of industry already in Bowman, and we plan to build a 10 megawatt electrolyser there, similar size to the one in Albury-Wodonga, possibly a 20 megawatt, depending on how much additional usage we might get for things like, mobility for transport and that sort of thing. And it will be supplied to 23,500 customers, about half the number of customers in Albury-Wodonga. But it may have a slightly different bend to it, that it probably will have a lot of gas being used in other areas, other locations as well, particularly Canberra. There's discussions we're having at the moment with busing companies in Canberra to transport gas to Canberra from Wagga Wagga. And as you can see, commercial operation only 2025, so it's only a few years away. This is pretty exciting in terms of Wagga Wagga and Hydrogen Park Murray Valley being located just down the road. our intention is to assist the commercialisation of a hydrogen highway out of those two projects. And, we're excited about it. Government are excited about it, and customers are excited about it, who will be able to access that hydrogen product in and around the Hume Highway. Gas blending provides a large market for renewable hydrogen. 10% blend will support up to 600 megawatts of electrolysis by 2030, and we'll build scale and capability as we grow. Leverage to supply hydrogen mobility. It's a great, as I was saying earlier, if we build these electrolyzers a little bit larger than the immediate need, and that is the needs of domestic households and business, we can create things like the hydrogen highway. We can create opportunities for businesses to decarbonise. And most of the businesses we talk to are very excited by renewable product. If you wind the clock back maybe 5 years, if you talked about renewable product, people glazed over, businesses glazed over. They said, will it cost me? Businesses today are actually prepared to pay a premium for hydrogen product. I think most of us are, because we can see the benefits of renewable hydrogen and renewable product. It's pretty efficient to decarbonise gas networks, because our actual networks are hydrogen ready today. They're ready to take. We've been upgrading our systems for the last 20 to 30 years, and they are capable of taking hydrogen. So there's not a lot of cost to increase the capability to inject hydrogen into the network. It's just marginal. Have we got any questions from any of that? I went through quite a bit of information there, and if you've got any concerns or questions, please ask. There's a gentleman over there. I'll wait for the speaker to arrive so I can hear you.
Some bloke stood up there yesterday and said that gas is gone in 5 years. Can you comment on that, please?
Gas will be here for a long, long time to come. I'm not quite sure what the guy's motives were or what he knew, but what I know is that we might look like we're fairly calm on the surface. There's not much happening, but it's like a duck on the lake. The legs are going like this, and we are, as you see, we are building renewable capacity into our networks right now, and we'll continue to do so. So I see no reason why gas will be gone in 5 years' time. I mean, I'm not quite sure. Sorry, Mike? Yes. We'll be injecting biomethane into our networks as well, as Michael pointed out. Biomethane, we're already talking to some really significant operators on the injection of biomethane, and that's from things like landfill, where in the last 30 years, I'd say that a lot of our tips, what do we call them? Our landfill sites for the last 20 or 30 years have been extracting biogas from landfill and generating electricity and injecting it into the network. A lot of those operators are becoming a little bit concerned about the certainty of electricity pricing. They're trying to build a bit of stability into their business model, and they're approaching us about, rather than generating power, injecting biomethane straight into our network. So they take what they were burning in generators, the biogas, upgrade it a bit further and make it a pipeline quality gas, we know as biomethane, and assist to green our network. So it's quite exciting. And we've already started, as I said, we're in advanced discussions with a lot of big operators around that. And it's influencing efficiencies into our business too, because where we might have been going to put infrastructure in a certain place, where we may put it in a different place to work in with biomethane production. And Michael has been working on a lot of strategic thinking in terms of how we'll actually deliver gas to the network from these sort of facilities. But we will be around for a long time. Look, you hear a lot of commentary in the media and so on, but and maybe we haven't been loud enough, and that may be part of the problem. But as I said, we may look quiet on the surface, but we're working like hell underneath. Our legs are going like hell to produce hydrogen. I need the bit.
Are you lobbying politically or not?
Yes, we are. Yeah,
because as you know, some in the political landscape have a loud voice.
Yes.
And usually they've got a loud voice for the minority. So
yes. Well, look, from what I've found, AGIG, we are talking to the politicians and those influencers that influence politicians, and we have support, particularly of the Victorian state government, to deliver hydrogen renewable product to the market. There has been some talk about the narrowing of that away from residential, but I think the people haven't spoken yet. I think we've only heard murmurings from government, and I think that could change in time, because Victorians love gas, and we have every reason to believe we can deliver gas. And even under the 7-star rating system, which was thought to be fairly stringent against gas product, we're finding that that's not the case. We've been doing some really good work there, and we can still deliver a gas home in a 7-star home quite easily. You'll still enjoy a gas heater, a cooker, a hot water service, whatever you like, a barbecue. We can still do that without any impediments, really, that I can see. You might have a couple of solar panels on your roof, but you'll have that if you put in electricity as well. So there has been a lot of talk to deliver fully decarbonised electric homes, and we don't discourage that. We actually want to work with the electricity industry to deliver a renewable future, and I think we have to work together to do that, because if all the gas products were ripped out of the homes today and we had to switch over to an electric solution, the electricity network is half the size it needs to be. Now, if that has to be upgraded, you and I will be paying for it through the tariff. So it's not a terribly efficient way to deliver renewable product, is to just do it with one energy form. It should neither be gas or electric alone, it should be both. We should be working together to do that.
Are there any more questions? Any more questions for Adrian? No? Okay, thank you so much for your time today. It's been lovely to have you here. Really insightful. It's great to see that the Australian Gas Network is doing a lot for us.
Thank you, and thanks to the audience.
Thank you so much. Perfect. I'll take that one from you. So now we're just going to take a little 10 to 15 minute break, and then we're going to be having our final speaker for today. It's going to be starting at 2 p.m, so please do come back. And we're going to be talking about materials for fencing. So please come back at 2. Thank you so much.